And we are live. We are here on our first Gunpla Wednesday, I suppose, to finish the Sigrun. I don't know what the hell that is on the back of the hand. We're here to finish the Sigrun. And actually, you can see in the corner, I decided that the next Gunpla is just going to be the Gian, and the reason I decided that is because it's been runner-up at least 2 times in a row, and it actually tied this when it was on the poll. So I feel like it's just fair just to build it, because it was also really popular among you guys. So we're going to build that on Monday, but that's for Monday. Today, we will be finishing the Sigrun. Actually, one thing that's either going to be super satisfying to do or not so satisfying to do. Let me move my mic. Oh! Okay. Is we're going to take off, before we continue building, we're going to take off this paint, not this paint, these sticker tape to see how this paint job turned out. Ooh. I spent a long time taping all this up, so so far so good actually. Sadly, I'm wearing gloves, so actually I'm going to need to use this. Okay, so there's gonna be a little... The tape wasn't as secure as I hoped it was. And actually I kind of painted into the underside of the tape, so I'm not surprised that that this mistake happened, but... One thing I've discovered about Vallejo paint is once it dries, you don't need a X-Acto blade to clean it off. Tweezers are enough to get it off where it overflowed typically. Let's just do that real quick. A little bit of overflow right here. There we go. That looks fairly nice, actually. I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Let's see how the other one looks. Sadly, I was not able to update the BGM. I wasn't even able to watch Andor today or Gundam X, which is really annoying, but I've been kind of dealing with something behind the scenes, and I've kind of been dealing with it by myself, which I shouldn't have. And I kind of let somebody else in to help me through some issues I've been having, to put it lightly. It's sadly something I can't really go into detail on stream, but my day was kind of taken up by solving some mental health issues. Very private behind the scenes stuff, but the important thing is that it stopped me from watching Andor, which ain't great. Not to say Andor isn't great. I haven't watched it yet. I wouldn't know. But I am a little upset about that. I will be frank. Oh. Actually, speaking of... Where's my topic list? Wait a minute. Give me one moment to pull up my topics. Oh my god. You know what? Let's start with one of my favorite movies. Has nothing to do with IBO, has nothing to do with Gundam. Actually, you know what? I can make this tie into Gundam. Imagine every time you wanted to talk about Gundam, the conversation shifted from like the themes and story and the narrative and like the characters and how things progressed, and people just started going, well, you know, Gundams couldn't actually exist. That's not like the square cube law would make that impossible. And when you explain the Minovsky particles and whatnot, they go like, well, Minovsky particles aren't realistic. Imagine that's what you had to deal with every time you wanted to talk about Gundam or Gunpla. You know, they just people immediately going, well, actually. That is what it's like to like the movie Gattaca. That is what it's like to like the movie Gattaca. Every time, at least in my circles, when I bring it up, everyone becomes an armchair geneticist. Every time they're like, well, actually, that's not how genetic encoding works by modern understandings of it. You're telling me this movie that's 30 years old might not have up-to-date understandings of genetics. My God. Wow, what a take. Hello, Shadow. Ooh. I'm just continuing the build from Monday. And I'm talking about something that gets me annoyed a little, and that's the fact that one of my favorite movies is really hard to talk about. Because nobody appreciates the themes of it. They just want to talk about, like, how it's not scientifically accurate, which is like looking at Star Wars and going, well, there's no sound in space. It's like, no. But when you say that, everyone knows you're a douchebag. But when you say, that's not how genetics work for Gattaca, everyone's like, yeah, you're so smart. No, you're being an asshole. Give me 1 second. I'm going to move chat down. Gunner. Okay. Had to move to get out of the way for Gunner to get by. Okay, let me move the lower monitor without breaking it. Or to deal with people like that for Transformers, it's just so... Transformers is even sillier. Ooh. Because anytime somebody wants to, well, actually, on a piece of media where it's not about, like, the science, it's about the story, and the science serves the story, it's always annoying. And sci-fi just has a terrible issue of that. But also, nobody ever pulls this shit with Jurassic Park. Nobody ever goes, oh, hey, you know, like, that's not accurate to, like, gene science as we understand it today, because you'd immediately get BTFO'd for being a dumbass for doing that. Ooh. It's because people know Jurassic Park. So if you try to be a smartass, everyone's just gonna point out that you're actually just being a dumbass. Ooh. The themes of the film are that, like, mankind is arrogant, and the hubris of man is that he believes he can control nature. What the? There's an extra eye. I just noticed that. There's an extra eye in this kit. Ooh. Not that you can see the eye. Let me see here. Apparently you can open up the head. Oh, the head popped off, but I think literally you have to take it off and then angle it on to, like, have it set up correctly so you can see the eye. It doesn't, like, there's no hinge. You have to, like, technically disassemble it to get to see the eye. It's weird. It's still a really cool kit. Nice that that's a feature at all, but I don't think I'd be displaying it like that. See here, B. Yeah, this is B. Are you gonna go? Are you gonna rest in your kennel there, buddy? Yeah, he is. See here. B15 and B27. Okay. This is the left arm, so we're gonna cut out this over here, and this would be for the right arm, so we're gonna cut out this over here. Let's get the mouse out of the way, shall we? But actually, I was thinking earlier today, a comparison I made was if... I'm sure this is not... Just like Gattaca, people probably won't get this reference, but it's like, imagine if you're watching Madoka Magica, and people just started going, excuse me, you cannot forestall entropy using the emotional trauma of little girls, and it's like... No, no, that's not scientifically accurate. Ooh. That's what it's like with Gattaca. So it's like you're missing the forest for the trees. D15. Ah, there it is. But how have you actually been, Shadow, if you're here? Ooh. How's life been treating you? 26? 26 and 23. That's extra confusing, because these are diagonal from one another. Then... Ooh. I'll have to take those off for prepping, so I don't know which one is which. I don't know if that's site-specific. Let's see if it is. Pretty good. That's good. That's good. I know that you were having some drama. I'm happy to see that's going well. Let's see here. Okay. I had some drama today, but I was able to get it sorted out. Kind of self-made drama, behind-the-scenes drama, but I was able to get it sorted out. It's something that needed to be addressed for a long time. Sadly, it's also something I can't really talk about. Here. Hands. Well, here's like special hands. I don't know if there's actually anything that goes with the 12. Actually, it's a really high detail hand for a high grade, actually. Like, there's a lot going on with this hand. Like, not in, like, the pose. This is a very general pose that you have, but, like, the thinness of the fingers, the... Ooh, I don't know if you can see it, but, like, how the palm is actually not flat. There's a lot going on with this. Yeah, it was good that I sorted it out. I am the Yankee Doodle Dandy. I'm happy to hear that you're feeling dandy. That's what I take away from that. Ooh. Oh god, chat, would you be my Huckleberry? You know, I don't know if that's gonna be a stream watch-along or a Discord watch-along. I know for a fact Unforgiven, whenever... Ooh. Actually, I do want to announce that. I don't know if I've made this clear already, but, like, how we're going to start doing the watch-alongs is on Saturdays, regardless of if it's a stream watch-along or a Discord watch-along. I'm going to try to play something in theme with the watch-along. So, like, for this Saturday, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption, because we're watching on Discord Rango. Ooh. And I think that, you know, is fitting. So, I'll play it for, you know, a few hours, then... Around 8 o'clock, I'll sign off, tell you guys at 9 we'll start watching Rango, and then at 9 we'll start watching Rango. I think that's kind of a nice thing to do. Rango is a real nice film. But I'm going to be doing the same thing next week, next Saturday, because we're going to be watching Blazing Saddles, but that's going to be a stream watch-along. And the reason that's going to be a stream watch-along instead of a Discord watch-along is because, actually, the person who I offered to watch it with, Powerlines, who has not seen Blazing Saddles before, said, let's make it into a stream. And I was like, okay then. So that's gonna be a stream watch along. I'll probably title it Let's Get Cancelled or something. I love Blazing Saddles, but like even if I'm not showing it on screen, you know, dangerous movie to have. Man, I don't worry about it. I was not able to get to that Dvork music you recommended. I wasn't even able to look it up because I was sorting out some behind-the-scenes issues. Ooh. Like, the issues are sorted out now, but I was sorting some stuff out, like some personal matters out behind the scenes, and I just didn't have the time. Ooh. I was actually suffering, like, it's actually really, like, messing me up, emotionally speaking. I can't talk about what it was, but I can talk about the symptoms. It was messing me up a little bit emotionally because I was getting really lethargic, and I was kind of just finding every excuse to, well, just be lethargic, and I was just being, it just gave me a lot of lethargy, which is a symptom of depression and whatnot. But as I said, I had that sorted out. I addressed the issue instead of running away from it. You haven't seen it? It's really good. It's really good. Ooh, it is a Johnny Depp animated film, which might sound a little weird, but stick with me. It's a Johnny Depp animated film, and it is, I think, my favorite satire of the Western genre. It's a deconstruction. It's definitely satirical, and you might be like, what about Blazing Saddles? Blazing Saddles I consider to be a parody of the Western genre, not a satire. Ooh. The difference is a satire is a comedic deconstruction, while a parody is just like an absurdist deconstruction, I guess you could say. Like, it's not the finest difference, but there is a difference. Blazing Saddles is required viewing, which is why when I found out that Powerlines had not seen Blazing Saddles, I literally went, we're watching Blazing Saddles. Like, you and me, we're watching that movie. I was like, how is that possible? How have you not seen Blazing Saddles? Like, it's not Mel Brooks' best movie, but it's definitely one of those movies that you just expect people to have seen. I think probably the best Mel Brooks movie, in my opinion, is Young Frankenstein. But that's just because Young Frankenstein is not only a comedic film, but it is also just a straight-faced sequel to the classic Frankenstein black and white movie. And as a sequel, it's actually not half bad. And it has some, like, really nice serious moments, like the Gene Wilder speech when he's going up into, like, you know, when he's going up to create the monster, you know, the lightning storm. He has this speech that's only like a minute and a half long, but the speech is absolute fire. Oh my god, he just starts talking about how, like, since man first climbed out of the since we first climbed out of the primordial ooze, looked up to the sky and shouted, I am man. Our greatest fear has been the knowledge of our own mortality. And it's just like, fuck, that's a really hard way to start a speech. This is a comedy movie. This is a comedy film, and that's how you start your speech? Oh my god, talks about taming the thunder, humbling the earthquake and shit like that. It's just such a good speech. And it's just in an incredibly funny film. It's like in Tropic Thunder, how you have the scene where Robert Downey Jr. uses his real-life experiences as a drug addict for when he's, like, breaks down as Kirk Lazarus, whichever one. And, like, he takes off all of his makeup and he starts talking about, like, his personal traumas. Some of that was, like, real personal trauma that, like, Robert Downey Jr. went through. And, like, when you learn that, you're just like, oh, shit. That wasn't acting. Wait, what the isn't this a comedy movie? Like, Robert Downey Jr. just bore his soul in a scene. And it's in the funniest film he's ever been in. Ooh. Oh my god. It's also why that scene goes so fucking hard, though. And after he bears his soul in that scene, literally another character just goes like, my god, you people are just children. And Robert Downey Jr. just goes like, yeah, I guess we are. Did I do it right? Yes. This is a really cool kit. It's already probably my favorite Iron-Blooded Orphans kit, which is saying something because the Kamaris Vidar is a really good kit. But, like, this is already competing with it. That is a surprising mechanical. Did I do this wrong? No, I did do it wrong. I put it on backwards like a doofus. It happens. Luckily, this is actually really forgiving. There we go. And then let's build the other shoulder. Okay. And I talked about how Iron-Blooded Orphan kits are missing link kits. And I feel like this joint is a real good example of that, because this is a friction joint that's actually very weird to appreciate. I'll show you. Because it's not a solid tube. That's what is going on to this. Like going into here. But you don't feel the empty space. That empty space you don't notice when you have it on. Because it's filled in enough where it just isn't noticeable. But it's also very much, it feels like kind of what you'd expect from something that's transitioning to less polycap functionality. To more just natural friction joints. Ooh. One movie, I don't know when we're gonna watch it, but we're definitely gonna watch it like by the time we're finished with Red Dead Redemption 2. Ooh, maybe a little before, but I cannot wait to watch Unforgiven. I have no idea who I'm going to invite to Unforgiven. I've made the only invitation I've made, the farthest out invitation I think I have. I think I might have invited somebody to Empire Strikes Back watch along. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that one by myself. It's a Star Wars movie, so I can easily do that one by myself. I fucking love Star Wars so much. But the farthest out invitation I've done is for The Thing. And actually, the person who I invited is pretty enthusiastic about watching The Thing. For those of you who are not aware, I'm talking about John Carpenter's The Thing. Ooh. I kind of forget how easy that is to be a little confused to hear when you just say, "Ah yes, The Thing. I love The Thing." See here. I think these are you. You are not symmetrical. Good for you. I think I got this backwards, though. I have to do this off camera because it's a little weird. Come on, come on, come on. Is this... with friction like that, you just have to slowly get it off. Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of surprised this isn't symmetrical, though. Then this one goes here. And, yeah. That goes like that. Then on this side, this plugs into here. And this plugs into here. I didn't even try to repaint these, I just realized. It's this one, and we need also... Ooh, chat, where's the... We need the other one of these, but I don't see it. Lens wipes, get out of here. This stream is not brought to you by Lens Wipes by Zace, or however you pronounce that. Ah, here's the other one. I don't know why it was all the way over here. Well, that one is on camera. You should have told me, chat. I can't believe you've let me down like this. I can't believe it. You've been so reliable in the past. I might have to replace you. I might have to send you off to the farm, chat. I think both of these are just B3. Let's play Spot the Difference. There is no difference. I mean, it still looks nice with the paint job that I did. Not the best paint job. It's not the as consistent as I'd want, but let's not focus on that. Stop being Debbie Downers. And then what's that? Ooh. And that is a really nice. That's really nice, actually. Ooh. That's a nice arm bend. Actually, these pieces are going together really well. If we can get this. Oh, don't worry, you don't need to apologize about nothing. It's a gunpla stream. It's a relaxing stream where it's just where I should be in the background. Ooh, it's not like a fucking. Even my gaming streams aren't really worth being in the fucking foreground half the time. Not really good enough gameplay to justify that even in the gaming streams. But this is a gunpla stream. It's for background noise. God damn, that's really nice. Two. Oh, two. Oh, really? The back of the hands are side specific. That's actually surprising. I'm genuinely surprised by that. I don't know where all the Kamaris are because I need to clean up a little, but I do have the Kamaris Vidar. So we will be comparing him directly to my favorite IBO kit. I'm just like kind of amazed by this because like the quality of this hand reminds me of the quality of the actually of a real grade of the what is it called? The tall geese. That's what's throwing me through a loop here, chat. Quality wise, it's reminding me of the tall geese. It looks like does it only have one hand on the right side? Will this fit on this? Give me a minute. I'm doing science, chat. Be patient. Oh. So it does have two right hands. Okay. That is an absolute mess. I say it's two right hands, but I don't know where the other right hand is. It is B18. I already cut it off. It's right here. What? Oh, goodness. It is kind of surprising how people will fall for the same, like... I understand falling for, like, a trick one time, but, like, when the exact same thing is pulled one whole year later, seeing the same people fall for the same grift it's just slightly, you know, different. It's just kind of disappointing in all honesty. Ooh. And I know it happens all the time, so I'm not going to be specific, but it's just so frustrating to see people who just keep falling for the same, like, emotional and social grifts. And it's just like, come on. Come on, like, you have to have pattern recognition at some point. And then it's like, nope. And it's just like, okay, well, you're just gonna, like, sweep it under the rug when it comes out that this was a mistake, and then you're gonna do it again. And it's such a nice hand. I'm sorry, this is just such a nice fucking hand. I know it's weird to be saying that about a high grade, but it's just so nice. Look at it! Look at it! Hold on. Look at it! It's focus. Don't focus on my... focus on... There you go. No, come on. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Get... Hold up. There we go. Look at that hand. Look at that freaking thing. That is an amazing hand. It is so nice. Oh my god. Like, you don't need to do any prep work on it. You don't need, like, you could panel line it to, like, fill in the crevices on the hand right there. But, like, the crevices are so deep. The crevices are so deep. Focus, please. I mean, it's not focusing, but you can still see the crevices. There we go. Come on. You can still see the crevices even without the panel line, clear as day. Even when it was out of focus, you could see the crevices within the hand. That's really, really good quality. I know it's weird to be like that over just like a hand, but like, I don't know. Something about this hand is just getting to me. It's making me act up in a weird way. Yeah, so to open and close the head, you have to do this. So I just kind of don't want to. I like the feature. I like how this is not a Zaku-like, but it's derived from the Zaku-likes of this universe. I like how the Greys, which are the Zaku-likes, just open up their head like a monster, then make a roar like they're a monster. Completely fucking weird, but like, in the context of Iron-Blooded Orphans, it's because the mecha themselves are symbolic for the demons of war, which is why the Gundams are all named after demons from the Grimoire, from like the Erisgosha or whatever. Like the Barbatos, that's a demon. You know, the Kamaris is a demon, like is the name of a demon. I mean, the Gundam Mark 001 is literally called the Gundam Ball, as in the demon ball. Or how when you use the Vilea Mignon system, it literally takes more and more away from you the more you go into it. It's just a literal manifestation of how when you go to war and you become more part of war, you leave more of yourself on the battlefield every time. And it's just like, damn, that's good stuff. That's what she said. Oh, this is such good, solid stuff. Not the most complex, like, you know, narrative, but, like, it gets the job done. Oh, well, that means I can still prep them. It's just gonna look a little plain in the meantime. So these I thought were gonna be covered, but actually, these are gonna be, like, uncovered. So I'm gonna have to paint these on my own time, but, yeah, those Vernair vents, I don't know what's going on with them. And then... yeah, these are thigh armor. Ooh. Like how all of this is... how a lot of the armor on this guy is very sloped. The armor that's not just straight up knightly is super sloped, which is nice. There we go. There we go. And there's really no reason not to cut this off. Kind of sad that Lon hasn't been around for these streams as much because he's been looking forward for the Kamaras for a long time. Not the Kamaras, sorry, the Sigrun. He's been wanting the Sigrun for a long time. So it's kind of sad that when I'm finally building it, he seems to be a little busy on those days. But I think he was like missed most of Monday's stream. I could be forgetting, misremembering. One thing that actually really got me by surprise is how popular the Gian is, because it keeps getting really high in the votes. And as I said earlier, it actually tied. Here are the legs. It actually tied, which is why it's going to be built next week. But it kept getting really high votes. Let's see here. 7. 5. And then the ball joint would be 2. Okay, so these are symmetrical, so we're just gonna cut off all of these. Oop. I know I said avoid drama, but one piece of drama that I've kind of found more funny than anything there's a lot of figures. You just described a lot of figures, actually, Shadow. Before I get into the funny, stupid drama. Ooh. It's not... Actually, it's very inspecific. The drama is just somebody said something, but they didn't, like, say any names. So everyone's just speculating. They're like, oh, hey, I'm going to, like, no longer support this thing because of these people. But they didn't give any names. So everyone's just like, it's this person, it's this person, it's this person. And I've just been, like, looking at it, I'm just like... Yeah, nobody knows what the fuck's going on here. Like, I don't know if they didn't give a name for plausible deniability, but it's really funny seeing everyone go like, oh my god, it's this person. Oh my god. Like, there's 3 to 4 different people that I see that people are saying it's because of these, like, this creator, that they are no longer with this company. And it's like, man, I don't know, but it's fucking funny. It's just like how, it's just like the person was so vague that nobody knows what the fuck is going on. And, like, people are kind of spurging out because they're just assuming. But you have, again, people assuming, like, every individual you could. Ooh. It's kind of just, like, a little silly in that regard. But for models that people want. Master Grade Cassatria. Ooh, Master Grade Cassatria is absolutely something that people want. But the Cassatria is such a big, unwieldy mech that we ain't getting a Master Grade Cassatria. Let's see here. A real grade that's not a fucking Gundam. That would be cool. You know, a real grade that's not a Gundam, but also not a Char mech. You know, that's really liked. Would be really cool. Like, a real grade Cassatria would probably be really popular, but, you know, that's not a Gundam, so we can't have that, you know. And Char never piloted it, or a Char clone never piloted it. To be a real grade, you either need to have been piloted by... You either need to be a Gundam, or you need to have been piloted by Char, or a Char clone. So, there's a lot of things that people would like to be real grades that are not real grades. Let me see. There's a lot of things, though, that people would want. A Prowl fig. You guys haven't been getting Prowl figures? That's weird. Oh god, Takara did the fucking thing where it's like, okay, we made something, we made what you wanted. And it's just like, 90% of the people who wanted it were in America. Nah, it's a Japanese exclusive. Piss off. It's like, but why though? The Japanese don't even like that character or something like that. It's like, shut up. Takara and Hasbro making weird fucking, like, you know, financial decisions. I can't believe it. You know, you pulling my leg there? I think you're pulling my leg. That doesn't sound at all in character for those companies. Oh god, they make good Transformer figures, but it's one of those things where it's just they don't release them everywhere. They have to get a Japanese account and buy it on like the Japanese internet, then have it shipped to America. And that's just such a pain in the ass to do. There's a lot of things like that. That's actually how Powerlines had to get his model. He actually had to go and get a Japanese account to buy it from a Japanese website. Is this... So that one's more understandable. That's like independent. That's like indie creators. That's understandable. Big ass companies that like are multinational being like, nah, you can go fuck yourself. It's like, why you like this? Jazz, fucking jazz, man. I always find it's sad but also fucking funny how Jazz and I forget who else. There were two Autobots who survived the movie, who survived the movie even though their toys were discontinued. And one of them was Jazz, and the other one was like, I forget what the other one was. But after the movie, both the actors just like died or something. I know Scatman Jones died, who played Jazz. So they're just like, yeah, we're gonna still use Jazz because we like Jazz. And then Scatman died, and they're like, oh fuck, we can't use Jazz no more. It's just like, god damn. It's like the corporation came in and was like, we need to kill off all these characters. And then like the two people that they were like, we can keep these characters, the two they were able to keep, just reality, the Grim Reaper himself, you know. My uncle swept in and went, nah, and just took them both. Sorry about that, by the way. Blaster. Oh my god. It's just like, what the that's the most fucked up piece of like trivia for Transformers I can think of. I'm sure there's something like more like, you know, mentally scarring, but that one's just like the most like, what the hell? When reality literally goes, nah. Scatman Crothers or whatever his name is, like he's a Scatman, you know? Just take him. You're not allowed to have anything. G1 fans. Ooh. G1 fans had so much robbed from them. That's why they're constantly insistent that they need to make more G1 Transformers. Because they still haven't gotten over all the things that were taken from them when they were watching G1. Man, dude, when the Decepticons do the surprise attack and like take over the it's the beginning of the movie when they take over the Autobot ship so they can infiltrate Diacon City or whatever. That's so like that is so dark. That's one of those things where you're just like, yeah, if these were people, there's no way you'd be able to show this. But they're robots, so we can get really graphic. We can show Ironhide, not Ironside. Ironhide, you know, a beloved character just get shot in the back and his literal eyes, you know, have the light, you know, break out of them and like smoke come out of his mouth from that, and it's just like, yeah, we can do this because they're robots. It's like, god damn, this shit's graphic. Like, they're robots, but they're still people in the eyes of the audience. It's like Samurai Jack. How Samurai Jack is just like, yeah, we can get like real fucking crazy with like Jack like tearing things apart. We can get him covered in oil, but it's okay because, you know, it's oil. It's not blood, it's black. It's not red, it's black, so it's okay, you know? I still find it funny when Jack is in the sequel series, in the sequel finale series for Samurai Jack, when he's like, I've never killed a person before, and I'm just like, you're telling me Aku never sent a person after you to kill you? in like 50 years, Aku was never like, you know what, these robots just ain't doing it. Let's send like an actual person. He never once sent like a one person who was super loyal to him, and it's either you die or you kill him. You tell me Aku had like an ace up his sleeve the entire time. He just didn't realize it. Damn. Okay then. Fucking all of their deaths are fucking awful. Even the Decepticon deaths are awful, because they're like, Astro Train is like, yo bro, there's a lot of corpses weighing us down. Get them out of here. And they're just like, okay, we're gonna get rid of them. And they just throw them into space. They throw, I think, almost said Jetfire, sorry. They throw, Skywarp, I think, into space. Did they throw Skywarp or Thundercracker? I should know this, considering Thundercracker is my favorite Decepticon. I think they throw Thundercracker, not Skywarp. They might throw both of them, but I think they do throw both of them. But I think Skywarp and Thundercracker turn into different Terracons or whatever they're called, which is a little confusing. I don't know why. I don't know why they're the same mech, but like Unicron was like, you're gonna be two different rendition. They're gonna be two different robots now. I guess they don't have to have an identity crisis anymore. Ooh. But then again, I also think that they get like respawned as like also mass-produced mechs, so they still have identity care. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Okay, so they did throw both of them, which hence my confusion. Oh, let's see here. That is B. Oh, okay, I see it. I see. Not this. Actually, what the hell are you? Are you the other part of the leg? This must be, yeah, it is the other part of the leg. Okay. So, here we go. I know that there's a big discussion in Transformers as to, like, who got transformed into what. Terracon or whatever they're... I don't know if those are Terracons, but when they got remade by Unicron... Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, there's a debate, if I remember correctly, if... like, it's usually accepted that, like, it is Skywarp who gets turned into Cyclonus. But in the animation, it's, like, kind of vague if it was him or one of, like, the Insecticons for some reason, because both him and an Insecticon get turned into, like, Cyclonus. And then people are like, no. Obviously, like, the Jet Transformer, you know, wasn't the one transformed into Cyclonus. It was the bug. And people will ride or die on that theory. And it's like, we're really doing this? Like, we're really doing this? Where, I think in the comic they fixed it, where it is in the comic. I have the comic, I don't know where it is. In the comic adaptation for the movie, it is just Skywarp turned into Cyclonus. But I remember in the movie, it's like I don't know if it's an animation error or they just weren't thinking about it. But it's Skywarp and, like, one of the Insecticons. And because of that, there's this never-ending debate on who the real Cyclonus is. And it's just like, really? Really? Can we not use deductive reasoning for, like, 1 second? It's like, no. No, because apparently that Insecticon has some really big fans. And he's like, nah. The robot that's literally known for being a mass-produced... like, just, what is it? Expendable soldier. You know, the Insecticon. He can't be he has to be the unique character, not the mass-produced expendable soldier. What's going on here? What are we doing here? What are Transformers fans doing? What is this logic? And why can I no longer get this on? How did I fail at this? How did my brain stop working here, chat? At some point while building this, my brain has stopped working, and I see how. Because I need to use this. And then this goes here. And then this goes here. And I need to cut this off. Kind of crazy how Skywarp just has the ability to teleport. This casual thing. He can just teleport like he's Nightcrawler from the X-Men. And it's just like... It sounds really overpowered. But then you remember he's a villain in a... in like an 80s kids cartoon, and you're like, he just doesn't utilize that power like nearly as much as he should, does he? Nah, he'll utilize it to like make a one scene tense, and then forget about it for the rest of the episode. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. It's like how you just have... I would not be surprised if there's a Decepticon that has like time manipulation powers that 90% of the time they just like don't use. Because, you know, that would kind of ruin the story. There's a lot of 80s stuff like that where there's this villains who have like really OP powers that get like one episode of focus, and then they're like, okay, let's never focus on that again, because like that's a bitch to ride around. Look at this leg, by the way. This is a crazy leg. Unlike all the other legs I've built. I'm going to do a little bit of panel lining that if you'll humor me. I meant to do this Queen stream and I just completely forgot. I can't even blame like getting distracted by the behind the scenes shit. I just forgot. I just forgot. IDW Cyclonus. I do like the... God, I don't know if they're called the Terracons, but I'm going to keep calling them the Terracons. I do like how the Terracons are separate characters in other continuities. Ooh. Because, let's be honest, them formerly being Decepticons doesn't really come up all that much to my memory. Ooh, I don't really remember... Then again, I don't think I actually got to the 3rd season of Transformers where they're actually, like, the villains. But, like... Does it really come up the fact that they used to be Decepticons? Like, did they ever talk about that really? Or is it just like, you know, with Galvatron, you know, it's just like, yeah, he used to be, like, you understand he used to be fucking, he used to be Megatron, now he's Galvatron, and you just move on, there's not really any deeper exploration. Yeah, he's his own character, that's what I mean. In other continuities, he's usually his own character, and that's what I like about him. I still need to read, and I'm probably not going to read it until the series is done, just because have so many other things to do, but I still want to read that current run of the comic. I want to read the Transformers comic where the whole theme is war is bad, and so everything that can go bad does go bad. Oh, hey, here's what was it? Did I put this on backwards? No. Yes and no. I thought I put the shin on backwards. I was like, here's Bumblebee. He dies horrifically. Why? Because people are very sympathetic for Bumblebee. So having him, the plucky recruit, die horrifically, and like have this Optimus be like, "Ah, dude, he was the new generation." Like that's just gonna like, it's just gonna be so much harder. Skybound, yeah. I think it's called Skybound, where at this point I think he's still running around. Megatron's still running around without eyes. He just has a laser beak on his shoulder 24/7, and he just has an Ethernet connection with Laserbeak, and that's how he sees. Like he doesn't have eyes. He just has the bird on his shoulder, and it's like, bro, can you like not make new eyes? I mean, there's like a lot of Transformers. Just rip eyes out of their bodies and put them in yours. You're a robot, man. Just take somebody's eyes. And he's like, nah, dude, this fit looks way too good. Having my literal like eye cords hanging down across my face, like just this macabre death mask, while I have my bird on my shoulder 24/7. it looks way too good. It looks way too fire. And Megatron, it does look fire. But, like, I already know in the story, somebody's gonna shoot that bird and you're gonna be boned. Oh, Image Comics, you mean? Ooh. Image Comics is pretty nice. Image Comics is like, it's technically the edgy comic brand, but I feel like that's not fair because it was the edgy comic brand in the 90s. And a lot of the comics aren't edgy. Ooh, a lot of the comics are just willing to tackle kind of more mature niches that you just don't get with, like, you do get mature stories, especially in Marvel and like DC, but it feels like they always have to like pull back to that younger audience, while Image Comics, it has built in more of an adult and adolescent audience, so it can just go full force into those heavier topics, which again sometimes makes it get a little edgy with how they do things, but that's a price you can, I feel like that's a fair price in the grand scheme of things. And apparently, I think it's like in Invincible, in the Invincible comic, apparently Invincible only says the F word once in the entire comic. And I don't even remember what the context is, but he just calls somebody an effing, you know, artard. And it's just like, oh. Like, that's just a panel in Invincible, and that's just like the one time he says both of those words, and it's just like, and I just kind of said that, like, what's the context of that? And also, like, why is that the only time he ever says that? Actually, I do like the line in the Invincible War on the Amazon adaptation. Oh crap, I think I just messed up. No, I didn't. Okay. The Invincible War, there's like one Mark from another universe that all he does is curse all the time. And then there's another Mark who just has the line of just like, cursing doesn't make you cool. It's just like, fuck you. I do like kind of that meta humor. It's just like, hey, like what makes us good isn't like the fact that we will be like adult in the fact that we have characters curse. It's our narrative. And Season 3 had a real good narrative. Season 3's narrative was peak. And if the show keeps improving with every season, it's gonna be a great show by the end of it. Every season gets that little bit better. I don't know anyone who was disappointed by the conquest fight at the end of Season 3. It's so... It's foreshadowed, but not like the Invincible War. The Invincible War is like the forefront foreshadow, but in the background they just keep reminding you, hey, Mark has like a deadline by the Viltrumite Empire, and they're supposed to be sending a person to make sure he's keeping to the deadline of conquering Earth. But again, you have this whole Invincible War thing that's, you know, that's the forefront. That's the focus of the foreshadowing. But you just literally will have a video in the background of a shot, and the video in the background of the shot will remind you, oh, hey, Anessa was, like, you know, warned about, you know, another person coming to Earth to check on him. But they don't give attention to it like the things in the Invincible War. In the Invincible War, they're like, oh, look, these drones. Oh, look, you know, something's happening. Oh, look, Angstrom Levy. But it's just everything's in the background. The Invincible War literally exists just to get you distracted and make you forget, oh, right, Viltrumites, the real threat. Oop. Hinted at a crossover. Yeah. I know Invincible had like a really big crossover at one point where he got thrown into another universe by Angstrom Levy. And in the crossover, he's just going from universe to universe, interacting with other superheroes, trying to get back to his original universe. And at one point, he even like interacts with Spider-Man and stuff. Ooh, I think that's fun. That's obviously not going to be adapted one-to-one in the show for obvious legal reasons. It's just, you know, Lord of the Rings, they'll spend billions of dollars on, but you know, ooh. But Invincible, the one show that everyone's like, yeah, this is really good. The one show that's getting a lot of praise, they're like, here's a buffalo nickel. Like everyone's just like, bro, just give them money, dude. Let the animation be better. Oh my god, just let the animation be better. There's like parts... Jesus Christ, I don't know what that was. There's parts of the Conquest fight which you're just like, oh my god. This animation could have been so peak. But Amazon gave them like a buffalo nickel. Why would you do that? Thing is, they're easily making more money off of Invincible anyways. Because they made no money back from Rings of Power, let's be honest. Ooh, they made nothing back from that show. Ooh, nobody like got subscriptions and watched because of that show. But Invincible, literally the most successful show they have. I don't know if it's the most successful, but like at this point, like people like Invincible. People make fun of a lot of their other shows, Rings of Power, The Boys at this point. The Boys was their golden show. And then the creator got like, you know, got like brain rot and just couldn't disengage from like his perspective. And everyone's just like, yeah, this is trash now. But Invincible? Nah, it's still good. It's getting better. It's not every day you get a show that with each season gets better. It feels like that's a rarity nowadays. Nowadays it's like it's either great from the start or you're just gonna have to watch it slowly die, or it's never good to begin with, I suppose, as well. Really, really nice watching Invincible slowly but gradually get better. You're symmetrical, so I don't know why you're not going in right now. Okay. There we go. Don't sass me right now, little piece. Let's go and put this here. God, I don't want to talk directly about like the PBS funding thing with like Donald Trump. I want to talk about how the PBS thing has proven to me that millennials are the new boomers. Because every millennial who's like piping in about the PBS thing, they're showing like, they're like, oh hey, like, you know, the shows that, you know, like are so evil and corrupting children. And it shows from like the 80s and like 90s. And I'm like, God, you are like giving your age away so fucking hard with this shit. Like, politics aside, I'm sitting there, I'm just going like, I called it, even last year in several streams, I said that millennials are the new boomers. They know all the mistakes the boomers made, and they're going to make the same mistakes, because they're just dumb. And they fucking do, and every time they do, I'm like, fucking called it. It's like when a fucking boomer thinks like Andy Griffith is still like, you know, cutting edge television. You're just like, that ain't fucking what's on TV right now, bro. Every time I feel so validated. This goes like this. We are correct here. Wow. Oh, that looks beautiful. That looks beautiful. I mean, I don't think that you'd want like your knee this exposed whenever you bent it, but like that looks really cool. And you can see actually this functionality feels like a prototype for several knee functionalities of later gunpla, including the Zaku 241, I think. the Gundam Origin, the RX-78 Gundam Origin, which also have similar, like, separated knee function. It's just that when you separate it, there's still, like, kind of an Under Armour going on here. You don't just get a direct shot at the knee. This is nice. I am liking this build. Oh. Oh, that's a deconstruction of Lebowski. And how The Big Lebowski is actually a really well put together film. Like how there's a joke in The Big Lebowski early on where Walter pulls out a gun in the middle of a crowded bowling alley and the police don't arrive until after they're done bowling. And they're leaving the bowling alley, actually. They're leaving the bowling alley and the police arrive, missing them by a hair. And that's a funny background gag until you realize that scene was foreshadowing for later on in the movie when a character has a heart attack and dies. And they die because the police response time in the area is so slow. And you're just sitting there just like, oh shit. Like, that's really clean. That's really clean. And you turned your joke into like really dark foreshadowing for a later scene. You hit it well. Oh. Big Lebowski, probably the best Gen X film, I'd say it is. Ooh. But then again, a lot of other Gen X films are really miserable. Ooh, like Falling Down is miserable as hell. Is American Psycho Gen X, or is that more of a boomer movie for the generation it speaks to? I feel like that's kind of in between. Office Space isn't as miserable a film. Isn't as, cynical and pessimistic. But it also has, before it gets to its kind of happier conclusion, it is pretty down. It is a kind of a downer. Ooh, because it's all about the rat race. Like, all these movies are about the rat race and it driving people insane, effectively. And in Office Space, literally the happy ending is getting out of the rat race. Is him, instead of being... I forget what he is. He's just a coder for, like, some... I don't even remember what the company is. But that's, like, part of the joke, is that it's not really important what the company is. It's just they're working to work. They're not really doing anything. But by the end of the film, he's a construction worker, and he's happy because he's doing something. He has a defined... Oh, shit. He has a more defined existence, I guess you could say. But then you have, like, The Big Lebowski, where there's literally the line, the bums will never win. And in The Big Lebowski, if you think about it, is like one of the few films of that generation that shows the main character kind of having a happy ending. It's not Falling Down, not American Psycho. I don't know why the panel lining fluid is not going into here as much as it was last time. I'm having to actually brush it in, which is a little weird. Like, it looks a lot better when I do. Let me try to mix this up a little more, chat. Big Lebowski, real good movie. And you might just say, like, that's just, like, your opinion, man. And that's fair. But you should check it out nonetheless. It's a good movie, man. I can't believe I missed this. I can't believe I missed that panel line considering how much work I put on the shield. There's even a little bit of a panel line right here that I missed. Ooh. I'm gonna have to go back in with actual paint for right there. Oh! No, don't get the black on the white area. That's gonna look messy as fuck. Oh, there's gonna be a little bit of post-build panel lining I'm gonna have to do. Whatever. Well, I talked about the Cinder stuff last stream, and I still don't know what the fuck's going on with that. That was more of a commentary of how I stay away from drama to the point where I just don't know what's happening. And I'm happy as can be. I got enough pointless squabbling bullshit to deal with in IRL. I don't need to be like learning what VTuber mean girl shit is happening. Ooh. Keeps me happy as a button. Ba, 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 ba. Oh god, I'm gonna do something. There's a 50-50 shot. I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble later this month. Oh god. But I can't help myself because I think it's really funny. And a lot of people are gonna get really offended. Yeah, we're aware. I've taken it off already, it would appear, but I can't find C11. Let me double check that it's off. Yeah, I have taken C11 off. The question is, chat, where did I put it? Now, if you were me, and so like, take down your IQ by like 50 points, and then tell me where I put it. Okay? Let's knock 50 points off that IQ there, buddy. And tell me where I would have put. Speaking of knocking off some IQ points. I think it would be here. Ah, there it is. It's under the brushes. Time are we at? Oh, we're making good time. We're gonna have plenty of time for size comparison. Got like a crotch plug. Okay, I guess it is blue. It kind of looked gray at first glance. Actually, last Gunpla stream, I linked into Tenki's, and she said she was interested in Gunpla. And when I heard that, I wanted to go over and recommend her. Who, actually, Shog could check out if she wants to watch Gunpla streams, but she doesn't accept DMs from people who aren't verified. I'm too poor to talk to her, chat. I'm just gonna have to wait until the next stream to recommend Shog to her. they'll have to ask for permission to recommend another streamer. It's rude in chat to recommend another... It can be considered rude in chat to recommend another streamer without first getting permission. I usually don't care too much. Ooh. But other people don't like it. Beautiful, beautiful legs. This thing is not going to stand up on its own. It's like the Witch from Mercury. The Witch from Mercury Gian-like kind of has a similar issue where it has really tiny feet for some reason. Like, the feet probably smaller than this in all honesty, and these are tiny feet. Ooh. And I don't know why, but like, that's like 2 Gian-likes in a row where they're just like, let's give it really tiny feet, and I don't know why. Do I have that, by the way? I don't have that, because I didn't really care for its design. I do not care for the Witch from Mercury Gian-like. Sue me. Ooh. Oh, that goes in real nice. This is the handle. I was wondering what this specifically was. We are really close to done. Are we gonna be done before the hour and a half mark? Ooh. I think we're going to be, chat. Short stream today. What Transformers has the best opener, I wonder? I like Animated's opener as like a remix of the classic opener. But I don't think it's like better than the original. The original opener is pretty fire. The original Transformer opener is pretty fire. It's real simple. It's just Transformers, war, more than meets the eye. As the Autobots fighting their never-endless war against the Decepticons, Transformers. It's so basic, but it's so nice at the same time. It don't need to be complex if it's peak. Is this not supposed to plug in all the way, or am I just going crazy? Well, it's not plugging in all the way. It looks like it's supposed to plug in all the way, but I don't want to force it. Because, well, I can't, because the gloves are sliding on the surface, so I guess I just have to accept it as it is for now. Ooh. But we have... Well, it's not done yet. This is... Ah! That startled me. Ooh, he did a hip thrust. I did not know that this looks beautiful, actually. This looks genuinely beautiful. I am so happy I got this kit. I got it on like a whim, but I am so happy I did. And let's put this in this hand. A little loose, but still pretty peak. Really good. It's really cool. This is a really cool kit. I would recommend it. It's not going to be easy to find. Especially right now. They already did the reprinting of IBO kits, so you're probably going to have to wait a hot minute. Did I miss a piece? Because there are some pieces that just aren't going to this, and I don't know why. Like, we have an extra hip joint. Let me show you. Like, we have an extra hip. We have... I don't know where the hell these go. Like, what these are for. Like, these weren't for anything. Ooh. I don't... This is for nothing. So there's some extra. Ooh. So I guess there was a little bit of recycling for this kit. Probably because it is a Graze-like. It is a derivative of the Graze, but... see if we can actually get it to stand on its own 2 feet. Let's just see if that's possible. It is possible, which is crazy. Let me show you the pose it's in. It's standing like this, which is a really nice dynamic pose. That's good. That is so good. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, having the Star Spangled Banner swell while this beautiful, beautiful mech feels fitting. Now here's some cord. Now I think the idea is I'm supposed to cut the cord, actually I don't know. I'm supposed to cut it in half, or I'm only supposed to have to. But we're gonna demonstrate what the cord is for, and the cord is for just holding just these wire pieces, which I guess the shield... Ooh, it's kind of in the original Gyan, which we'll be able to show off, actually not next week, but in 2 weeks when it's done. The original Gyan, please plug in, had a shield that would like shoot pin missiles out of it. And I guess this is the homage to that. This is what is inspired by that function, is that it has kind of like these wires that can shoot out and hit the other enemies. However, I don't want these to fall off and to lose both of them, so I'm going to take off the cords now. I'm going to take the extra hand. We got 2 extra hands on either side. They're just normal grabby fists. Ooh. Pretty basic. Let us do the comparison. I'll get up and grab... Not a lot. It's going to be a quick comparison today. As always, we compare to the last thing we built, so this guy's gonna... This guy who I think fills out his frame pretty well for how thin he is. Like, this guy you can tell is really thin, but he also has, like, a lot of presence to him. He's gonna look so tiny next to the Zazabi, though. So let's get what we need. That's my hat. That is a complete wrong button. God damn it, Gunner, you hairy little bastard. Okay, so the Chimaris is covered in hair. Thank you, Gunner. I still love you, Chimaris, but damn, you are just a mess because of that dog. And let me see if I can find a Barbatos. I might not be able to get a Barbatos out. Oh, you're an aerial. Need Barbatos. Ah, there's a Barbatos. It looks like a Barbatos Lupus Rex. No, here is a Barbatos Lupus, I think. Are you a Barbatos Lupus Rex or a Barbatos? I think so. He's missing a skirt, and his chest is not holding on, but we'll still have him out. It's a little dusty. So this is like a 19-meter mech. I don't know how big this guy's supposed to be, but I'm guessing he's supposed to be 18 meters without the horns. And here's it next to the Chimaris. Don't worry that he's missing a hand. The hand was holding his spear. Actually, I think the Chimaris is a far more interesting comparison. Don't mind this. This is just the stand he was on. And wait. I had to double check to make sure the stand wasn't broken. But there they are together. Honestly, I love the Chimaris. It's a really great build, but like this one is just like so much more simplified and cleaner that I kind of might prefer it. It depends on how it holds up. Hello, Neon. You missed it, but we're at least doing the size comparisons. And I will say, if you do have a chance, if you're a fan of Gian likes, ooh, and you see this guy, he is absolutely worth it. His chest is way tighter and way better performing than any of the Gundams. The Gundams always have kind of like a floppy chest, and also the Gundams, like, if they have too much weight, they just go down, but also they don't have like the most range. Like, this is the range of this guy, of his chest. Now watch this. This guy has like a full-on look down. Look at that. You already have it, so you already know this guy's kind of like, this guy's like low-key peak. He has really wide shoulders, which actually means he has a really wide range of motion. When his arms go up, unlike the Kamaris's, his shoulder armor doesn't pop off, which is a really big problem in a lot of the Kamaris. I don't think it's not a problem in the Kamaris Vidar, but the Kamaris and the Kamaris Trooper, if I remember correctly, it's a really big problem. Everything on him feels really tight. A really nice build. The shield provides some excellent coverage, actually. The head can, even though you have this big collar, the head has this wonderful range of motion. Like, it's such an impressive kit. Even things like this, the Vernairs, these Vernairs are so much, like, they have so much better range of motion, but they're also so much more secure than these Vernairs. These Vernairs are better, but like the earlier Kamaris's, their like Vernair skirts are so... I think it is, again, either the Trooper, I think it's actually, it's one of the Kamaris's, pops off all the time. The Vidar, these don't hold on at all. They pop off so easily. But again, this guy's just so clean. He's so clean, I'd recommend the hell out of him. It's a really easy build for how clean it is. Ooh. He can easily strike, he can stand up, which startled the hell out of me, in all honesty, considering how tiny his feet are. But I was able to get it to stand up on its own. Ooh. You need to do a little bit of a balancing act to do it, but you can get him to stand up on his own, which again... And because, like, you have to do a balancing act to make him stand up on his own, there's always kind of a presence when you get him to stand up on his own. He always is striking a pose when you get him to stand up on his own. He's always doing, like, some kind of JoJo wide-legged pose, you know, to lower his center of gravity. But that kind of looks really cool. Now let us compare him to the last build we did, just for comedic effect. It won't fit on screen. I'm not even going to pull back the camera. I think it's funnier if it's just like this. They are at the same height, and he makes it up to, it appears, the waist of the... He makes it to the waist of the Zazabi. God, but as I said, he feels really full. Even next to the Zazabi, he still feels really filled out, even though he's quite thin, because his armor is so rounded. He has those broad shoulders. There's a really nicely proportioned mech. And it also has this nice features, like these Vernairs being slightly maneuverable. Really, really nice. Ooh. I definitely recommend it. But that is the end of the build. Let me... Ooh. I did not apply the sticker to the back, and I'm not sure if I want to apply a sticker or paint the back. But actually, speaking of paint, I'm kind of happy with how well these turned out. They didn't turn out perfectly. I'm going to have to do a little bit of cleanup on them, but taping that off and doing it, and just doing this, turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. Ooh. From a distance, they definitely will look fine, which is what's important. But let us give him back his little... Ah, that's the trick. So though he can't hold it tightly here because it's a little loose, it's actually tighter than a lot of IBO handles. This top part is a little bit thicker, so if you just push it down, it goes in firmly. That's nice. That is really, really nice. Ooh. This is definitely them taking all the lessons they had from all the IBO kits and making something better out of it. My head's still off, which is going to continue because I need to link you guys out. I'm still muted, sorry. I'm gonna link you guys out now. Ooh, my desk is a mess. Ooh. Beautiful, beautiful boy. Even on camera, he looks great. A lot of times on camera, the color will look a little weird. Even here, he looks amazing. And... ooh. Let me get you guys linked out. Video unavailable. I don't know what video that was. Oh! Fucking perfect, actually. Somebody's building... I don't know. Am I subscribed to this person? Well, here is, Zeph. I think he just started. No, but he's been going for a while, actually. He's been going for, like, 40 minutes. But I'm gonna link you out to somebody who's doing another gunpla on YouTube. Ooh. I'm gonna link you out. His name is Zephisonis. Ooh. I think he's the person who did the collab with Power Lines. I think that's who he is. Ooh, I think that's why I'm subscribed to him and why I don't know more about him, because that's the person I subscribed to most recently. But check him out. He looks like he's most of the way through the G-Cucks. And for Twitch, ooh, let me link you guys out somewhere. Because I don't like to raid with only 2 people. Ooh. Oh, I'm gonna link out to a friend. I'm gonna link out to Atya. Atya, who I think in 2 weeks we're doing a collab with. Hopefully we'll be doing a drawing collab with her in not the next Monday, but the Monday after. But there's Atya. Go check her out. She's a wonderful person. And I'll see you guys later. Ooh. Remember to have a great day, a wonderful life, and don't lose your head. This has been Merrick Vespa, signing off from me to you. Oh, and we will be back. I know it was in the corner, but in case you didn't see it, we will be back on Monday with the Gyan, because that one was so popular. I'm just gonna build it instead of going to voting again. Okay. Same time, 9 to 9:30 will be the start. And before I forget, tomorrow we're having a drawing collab with Yumiko. And I don't really know what we're gonna draw, but I'm gonna suggest probably gender benders, because that seems like something that'd be fun to do. And it's also a very easy thing to build off of. But have a great night.